And welcome back, folks, to Broader Financial Future. Hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we're going to talk about Charles Schwab SCHD Dividend ETF. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subs, so each subscription helps. So let's jump into today's video. So, like I said in the intro, it's all about SCHD. Now, SCHD is Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. If you watch my previous video I did about, or my previous video, I talked about my 2023 strategy. And part of my strategy is to focus on ETFs and index funds. And one of the ETFs I'm focused on is SCHD. Now, did I say that right? Let me rewind. SCHD, if I said it wrong. It has about a 3% dividend yield because I love dividend stocks. I'm looking for income generating stocks as well as individual stocks and ETFs. It has an expense ratio of 0.06%, which is not too shabby. Now, what is Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF? So basically, according to the fact sheet, it seeks to track the total return of the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index. It's designed to measure the performance of high dividend yielding stocks issued by U.S. companies that have a record of consistently paying dividends. Basically, in layman terms, what it all boils down to is a dividend ETF. When you buy into it, you're buying into a basket of different uh, dividend stocks. So instead of picking one, you're going to get a more than one. You're going to get a couple of them, but really focused in the U.S. market and the Dow Jones. Now, basically, that's what it boils down in a nutshell. The question is, um, in my opinion, I think SCHD is for the following people. I think if you're a dividend investor, you're seeking income, you're a beginner, or even if you're seasoned, I think it's a good option to kind of look at to kind of see if there's something that fits your particular investing style or your portfolio. And for me, um, I'm a dividend investor. I'm seeking growth. I'm seeking dividend income. I'm not a beginner, but I'm a little bit seasoned. But also, what's important to me is sometimes you get tired of picking individual stocks. With SCHD, I can put my money in it, sit it, and forget it. So that's the reason why I am focused on SCHD more heavily in 2023. I'm still going to buy individual stocks, but for me, sometimes you just don't want to do the research. And this is a great way for myself to continue to invest in dividends without having to figuring out, okay, is the price too high for this individual stock? Is it too low? All that research takes a lot of time and energy. And I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'm going to do it, sometimes I'm not. It just really depends. And because it's an ETF, you can buy it on most brokerage accounts. So we have like Robinhood, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. You can basically get it at a majority of places. All right. So let's look at the performance, right? So when you look at the performance year to date, it's slightly up depending on where you're watching it. Um, you look at the 1 year performance, it is down 3.52%. So in the past year, it's slightly down. But when you look at 5 years, it's up about 42%. Now, in the last year, a lot of stocks are down. And that's why I want to compare it to VOO. Um, if you look at the past 5 years, they're basically similar, right? VOO is up about 41% versus I believe 42% with SCHD during that time period. But if you look at the past year, VOO is down 11% versus the 3 to 4% of SCHD. So for me, I feel like you're getting a lot more value for your money when it comes to SCHD. But I do own um, index funds that follow the 500 index as well. So I like to have both of my portfolio, but I just want to kind of give a little context of saying that SCHD is still a really good ETF to consider. In addition to that, it has a higher yield of 3%, a little over 3%. versus VOO, which is at 1.69% yield, give or take, depending on when you're watching this video. So a little bit more on SCHD. This ETF started in 2011. We talked about the expense ratio. You're buying into about 101 stocks, and it offers a quarterly dividend. So every quarter, they'll issue you a dividend. So that's something to be aware of. And those are like some of the highlights there. You can see the total assets under management is in the billions. And let's move on and let's talk about the top 10 holdings. So the top 10 holdings when it comes to SCHD accounts for about 40% of their total portfolio as of December 31st, 2022. So since the last update, but you have companies like Broadcom, Verizon, Pfizer, Merck, Coca-Cola, Lockheed Martin, Pepsi, Cisco, Home Depot. So you're getting really good quality companies put in this portfolio. But what I wanted to show too, right? Because I did a video about SCHD last year around June. And if you compare the top 10 holdings from last year to the most recent update, you can see there was some slight changes like Amgen is gone, and also Texas Instrumentals, or Instruments, I should say, is no longer in their top 10 holdings. Instead, it was replaced by, I believe, Lockheed Martin, from what I can see here, and another company which I can't really see, but you can kind of see like the holdings, they do change over time. Even though some do remain the same, um, it's not always going to be the same holdings over each quarter or each period. From time to time, they do switch out for various reasons. All right. In addition to that, when you look at the sectors, there's a lot of information technology, financials, consumer staples, healthcare, industrials. You're basically getting a mix of everything with this particular ETF. Yes, it's a little bit top heavy when you look at information technology and financials, but you do get like a nice little mix. Overall, just a disclaimer, I do own this stock or ETF, so I am a little biased. It's always good to do your own research because it is your money that you're putting into. Don't be so flimsy and just following a YouTuber out there, right? I did that, you know what I mean, in the past, way back in the day. But when you're up, you feel great. When you're down, you're like, why the heck did I invest in this thing? So it's always good to know what you're putting your money into because it's yours. You own a piece of something. So it's good to know that. And my strategy is to continue to buy this on a month-to-month basis when I have the opportunity. Um, so that's one of my goals for 2023. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube, folks, but I love to share my journey. I love doing these videos because it forces me to do the research on stocks that I own for myself too, right? Because I haven't, like, if I didn't do this video, I probably wouldn't have, I would have been so automatic and just continue my strategy. But from time to time, it's good to kind of look and say, okay, what's going on with this particular stock, ETF, index fund, just to be current. With that said, make sure you check out the next video. Peace.